Is this a new standard for successful mid-range smartphones, or yet another brand name we may soon forget? A selfie camera with up to 4K 60 frames per second video sounds promising, so let's inspect. This happens to be the first Infinix smartphone that I test over here on the channel. It's a company mostly operating in Asia, Africa, some parts in Europe, in particular France. And I really hope that this new model called 030 is going to reach more countries because it's fairly interesting. By the way, nice to meet you. My name is Michael. Over here on the channel we expect a lot of cool and interesting tech, and this one should be famous for its fantastic front camera, because while some flagships these days are being released with video capabilities on the front just at 1080p, this can record 4K 60. So in this video we're going to thoroughly analyze the camera performance, including the selfie camera, and see everything which matters about the software and hardware. If you ever plan buying a new smartphone and budget is your priority, most likely 030 is gonna end up on your shortlist if available in your region. It will certainly challenge models by Realme, Redmi, maybe even some of the attractive Samsung offers, and the promise is to beat them about features. So we're here to find out whether it's capable of doing that or not. Unboxing experience is decent for the price point, but we shouldn't forget that other brands are no worse than that. A quality box, we notice some of the highlights, and here's the phone itself. There are 3 available colors. The Rome Green is already among my favorites. It has leather feeling texture and somewhat reminds me of the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. Thumbs up about the design. It's attractive to see a 3D curved AMOLED, somewhat reminding some of the older Galaxy phone generations, and screaming, "I'm premium!" feels really good and slim in the hand. The back seems to be plastic, which I do appreciate. Clicky buttons, what is not to like? Oh, there also is a pre-applied screen protector, an included TPU transparent case, a wall charger, and believe it or not, Type-C earbuds. I haven't seen such a generous amount of accessories in a while. A quick overview of the specs reveals Dimensity 8020 SoC, 8 or 12GB RAM, 256GB storage. The display is 6.78 inches of size with 144Hz refresh rate, bunch of sensors and up-to-date communication standards, a 5000 mAh battery with 68-watt charging, weight of the phone is 185 grams, and at launch it arrives with Android 13. The specs are solid, and I really like the choice for a system on a chip inside because it has a very capable processor involved and is manufactured at a very thin layer, which hopefully is going to mean good longevity and decent performance. We have a fair amount of RAM. Actually, Infinix are tricking you that it has 21GB of RAM. Not quite accurate because we have either 8 or 12 physical gigabytes of RAM and the rest is borrowed by the storage. Speaking of the storage, it's UFS 3.1 according to the specification, which is kind of the same generation as what we have with the Nothing Phone 2, which costs almost twice more in terms of price. And the cameras are quite interesting. We mentioned about the capable front unit. The main camera of the smartphone is backed by the Samsung HM6 image sensor, which is promising really decent performance, sadly not on par with 2023's flagships, but easily putting to shame a lot of other mid-rangers. So let's see some photo samples as a starter. Daytime photos are sharp, crisp, vibrant, however in no way oversaturated or overprocessed, something that is actually good given the pumped and too contrasty photos that we get from leaders like Google Pixel series and Galaxy S23. The main camera is equipped with optical image stabilization, a small module which will reduce the shakes on a hardware level, and combined with the software algorithms, it's gonna let you enjoy fairly stable footage, especially about video. It works fine, seems to be more effective with 1080p videos, and in most cases is gonna produce good results. The low light scenarios are a bit more challenging. This is where we're gonna notice certain artifacts, some flares which might indicate not that great optics being used, but undeniably, the camera is above the average for the price niche. Furthermore, it's gonna give you the confidence that almost every photo that you take is a great match from the very first attempt. And you probably know how important this kind of reliability is. The ultra-wide camera is quite a basic one. You should mostly use it in daytime, preferably when there's a bit more sunshine. The camera app offers various shooting modes, and the portrait mode shows that Infinix are not yet at the level of Google, Samsung or Xiaomi, at least concerning taking portraits. The front camera is the big deal here. I believe this is the area where smartphones are gonna evolve in the coming years. While some models are still stuck at 1080p video from their front cameras, others, like Infinix with the Zero 30, are offering you up to 4K 60 frames per second. But there's something really important we need to remember in regard to the front camera, and while having 4K 60 frames per second is really fantastic, especially for vlogging, it wouldn't give you the same image quality as the main image sensor on the back, but still fantastic confidence booster. Just ask yourself the question, how often do you really need 4K? Because it requires a lot greater bandwidth, and especially for Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube, 1080p is still more than enough. And by the way, this here is recorded with the front camera at 4K 30 FPS. The rest, I'd say, it's fairly decent. If you want this smartphone because of its gaming characteristics, I can think of 3 reasons to boost your confidence buying it. First, the display looks gorgeous at this price point. 144Hz means that you're gonna run most games at the maximum supported refresh rate. True, it's not among the brightest displays out there. The colors look nice, you can further tune them from the display settings. Touch responsiveness is also excellent. But while Zero 30 is not marketed as a gaming phone by Infinix, it can well fit in the shoes of most popular gaming models. The second reason giving me confidence is the system on the chip being used. MediaTek have delivered some outstanding chipsets from the Dimensity line, and this one is no exception to the rule. It hosts a powerful octa-core CPU, a very capable graphics in order to deliver the right grade of performance, and given the specs, it matches most current Snapdragon mid-rangers and promises longevity because it looks like it can handle even heavyweight apps and games without any hesitation. The third and probably most important bit about sustained gaming performance is that Infinix Zero 30 retains good performance even after continuous stress. Yes, you can notice throttling appearing after 4 or 5 minutes of gaming, but it's tolerable and won't severely impact the performance. Infinix have implemented vacuum chamber liquid cooling, mostly in order to offload the SoC during 4K video recording sessions, but gaming also greatly benefits from this implementation. The rest of the hardware is according to the high expectations that we already have from the very beginning. Like most of the latest connectivity standards, 5G is present for most of the regions where the device is available. Surprisingly, even well covers the majority of the 5G bands used in the States. But if you plan to use the Zero 30 in the USA, double check with your provider whether those frequencies are really supported. NFC is present, an up-to-date Bluetooth implementation, even FM radio, something rare to be seen with modern smartphones. I guess that's why we got the earphones. I'm just curious about it. Isn't someone still using FM radio on a smartphone now in 2023? The battery life has also been consistent, close to 2 days on a single charger within reach, and 68-watt wired charging is a lot more than almost any other mid-ranger, and even more than most good 2023 premium smartphones. It's quite a serious advantage and well played by Infinix. The big question mark about this phone is the software. Yes, it works fine, has everything that a modern Android smartphone would need, like snappy animations, feature-rich launcher, a lot of settings and customizations. One can say it feels even lightweight. Hopefully it's gonna stay like that for a long period of time. The skin here is called XOS and seems to follow the original Android versioning, being at 13.1 right now at the launch. With its design and colors, it kind of reminds a lot Xiaomi's MIUI. Another reference would be the few bloatware apps pre-installed. Luckily, you can get rid of most of them. Zero 30 has Android 13 with a complete Google Apps bundle at launch, and here's the deal, not quite clear when a new Android generation is going to be pushed as an update, and from what I see around older generations, these updates are not that frequent. Lately, this topic becomes a major factor when deciding in favor of a specific model or a brand, so I hope that Infinix are gonna become more vocal about their update strategy and policy. Other than that, I have close to zero remarks about the software experience. Quite the opposite. It's decent and pleasing. If you're curious about my famous list with drawbacks, it's gonna be short this time. The lack of wireless charging, the too basic waterproof rating, and probably the unclarity around software updates. In the end, given the price point, none of these drawbacks are that significant, and in terms of performance, we get very close to the Motorola Edge 40 at almost $100 less than that. And in terms of camera qualities, especially the main camera sensor is easily challenging $500 and above priced smartphones, meaning that it's very easy to recommend the Infinix Zero 35G for all its qualities that we have inspected so far, if it's available in your region. So that's everything about this episode. I'm really curious to hear about your opinion in regards to the camera and overall performance, so please comment down below what do you think about this smartphone and what do you think about the review. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to support me, give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech inspections, and I, Michael, can't wait to see you in the next episode. Bye!